All right. Welcome to another episode of Evening Crypto with your boy, the Real Shaw 256, on a Friday evening. The evening crypto weekend edition is on. And tonight we are very, very excited. We could be more excited about the recent news, something that we've been waiting for over a year. If you've been in this space for longer than a year, you know that BAKKT has been such a high anticipated event, and it's finally here. They launched their beta testing platform recently, back in July last month, and in anticipation that the CFTC would give them the green light to go ahead and be their own, uh, pretty much be their own custody solution. And now that they've gotten the green light, they are officially launching as of September. So back this in, Custody Solutions was approved by the CFTC, given authorization for the first ever US-based physically settled Bitcoin futures contracts as of September 23rd, 2019. Let the madness begin. BAKKT goes live next month. And man, we could not be more excited for that. To piggyback on that, Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, says he's seeing a massive amount of institutional money coming in. And it's now not a question of if, but rather a question of when institutions will, whoever's not in it will actually jump in. Also, I want to cover what we learned this week. A slight correlation with traditional markets to Bitcoin was definitely evident this week. The fear inciting a major sell-off, but was it caused by the same sort of events? That's the question. Well, our hanging man candle on the daily says it is so. Bringing us to point number 2 of what we learned. For all of you inciting the whale manipulation conspiracy theory, that they want to lower the price so they can buy more at lower prices. I'm not a whale myself, but I'm buying the dip. Do you think they're the only ones doing that? Do you think that they're the only ones benefiting from dips? No. It's a community effort, actually. You see a tipping point and you sell, then you wait and you get back in and you repeat the cycle. That's how you win. There's no whale manipulation here. If you're doing the same thing that everybody else is doing, then you're manipulating, right? As soon as you go into the market to buy or sell, you're manipulating the market, whether you want to believe that or not. There's no intentional, there's no, what do you want to call it? It's not an orchestrated event. Anytime the market dips, learn to understand the markets, charts. That's what this channel is about. The information is out there for you to see. You just have to go look for it. In this age of the internet, information has been taken away from only the privileged ones, and now Bitcoin is going to do the same with money. So very excited to record this video for you guys today, tonight, this evening, wherever you are at in the world. BAKKT is in, baby. BAKKT is on. And we have talked about this before, and what the significance of BAKKT coming into this market is, how significant that is, because of one very important thing here is that nobody in the US is settling futures contracts with Bitcoin. Everything is cash settled, not physically settled. That's huge, huge difference. The owners of the New York Stock Exchange, which happen to own BAKKT, have massive, massive pockets, deep pockets, and they're going to have to store a shit ton of Bitcoin to be able to physically settle all of these contracts. And since it is the first of its kind, it is coming from a reputable company, a reputable, you know, um, entity coming into the space, such as New York Stock Exchange, ICE. You bet that people are going to feel safe coming into BAKKT and using their platform and start to trade futures contracts on their platform, because again, it is regulated. It has gone through all the steps that the CFTC has thrown at them and has been able to comply with all of their requests. So at this point, people can feel pretty confident that they'll be in safe hands, and away from fuckery away from all the wild west environment that we see in traditional crypto markets, if that's even a thing. So very excited. They were just pending again an approval from the CFTC for them to be able to custody their own Bitcoin. So now that they've gotten the green light, we're go ahead and we're clear for takeoff. So as of September 23rd, this thing will go live. Are you guys going to trade? Are you guys thinking about this? Definitely leave it down below. Let me know if you guys are excited, if you guys are against it. What your thoughts are. Leave them down in this video, though. I know that you guys get to this video through maybe your particular Facebook group or Twitter or Reddit, wherever it might be. Leave the comment on the YouTube video here on YouTube so that we can keep the conversation going on this particular platform, right? Because it's all over the place, and it's hard to comment on everybody's comments when they're coming from Facebook, Twitter, all over the place. All right, so do me that favor. Also, like the video if you feel the content is useful to you. Definitely like it, and don't forget to also hit the subscribe button. So that's number one, BAKKT. Number two, I also wanted to talk about this tweet from earlier today. In fact, let's go in here. Aha, you guys saw that. So let's go actually into my Instagram here. I want to show you this tweet by Brian Armstrong, right? Whether institutions are going to adopt crypto or not was an open question about 12 months ago. I think it's safe to say we now know the answer. We're seeing 200 to 400 million a week in new crypto deposits coming in from institutional customers. So not a matter of if, more of a when. And at these levels, and this is just the beginning, right? This is just, just the very just tip of the iceberg here. 200 to 400 million a week. Think about when really things get going. BAKKT now coming in. Obviously, a lot of that Bitcoin is going to be stored in BAKKT platform, but then also a lot of it is going to be stored at Coinbase. They've also got an excellent custody solution. BitGo's got an excellent custody solution. So, there's several avenues for which any of these institutional investors can really go to, have safe custody of their funds, of their Bitcoin. So, definitely super bullish news here. Definitely feeling like I'm just looking like the future of Bitcoin looking brighter and brighter every day as we move things along, as we build more, as more infrastructure comes in, more of these big time players from traditional markets come in and establish their presence in the crypto sphere. Couldn't be more bullish. I was so excited to come home and start to record this video because this is one of the call it milestones, if you will, for the crypto sphere, having a physically settled future, having institutional money coming in, and what is next? Possibly, hopefully, not that we need it at this point, but an ETF, right? That is the looming question in the horizon. Now, that is something that we're not going to get into today. I think we're still a bit far from that. But that we've jumped through these hurdles now. So the begging question is, what is next? Well, I think for a lot of us, the ETF is sort of a big question mark out there, and we have no doubt that that's going to happen at some point. But I just don't see that happening too soon. However, it does help that we have all of the institutional trust now. Again, BAKKT, just giving us a stamp of legitimacy in the crypto sphere. So great stuff. And now going to talk a little bit more about the whole manipulation and exit scam and this all of this stuff that's going around on social media about how manipulation and scams are ruining the price of Bitcoin. That's because, again, I hope you're not one of these guys, but you're probably thinking that Bitcoin's just going to keep going up and up and up and up and up forever and ever and ever, and never correct, never have a dip, never have any sort of retracement, because it's unhealthy. Guys, the information is out there. That's what this channel is about. I want to bring you the information. Guys, this is completely natural, and I hope that this is the message that you're telling your peers and the people that you hear and see talking about this nonsense about whale manipulation. It's just not healthy for the space, is really what we're trying to get out. And we need to bring that to a minimum, right? We need to, because it scares people. It really does. It deters new people from coming in. And we definitely want to set the record straight, and to those people, just say, hey, look, stop that, stop believing that. You'll be much better off when you stop believing that there is whale manipulation, that there's these people scamming and also collaborating against your favor, against what you're trying to do. This, it's just nonsense. Yeah, I mean, it is an existing thing. It is. I mean, there's no doubt that there's a lot of scams out there in crypto. It is a new market. Goes to what I was mentioning earlier as to the wild west environment that we currently live in within the crypto sphere. So you just have to be very careful. These exit scams are out there, but they're out in the fringes. If you venture out and where you're not supposed to, and do that sort of thing, then you're exposing yourself. Do your research. The information is out there. That's what the internet did. It decentralized information, gave it to the masses, and again, that's what Bitcoin is out to do now. Money is going to belong to the masses now. It's not going to be centralized. Hopefully, not for very much longer. Yeah, this scam reportedly, took about $3.1 billion, but that's not what cost it. That's not what cost it. Okay. Um, Two things I want to show you here on the chart. Let's go to the daily, because it does relate to it. This hanging man candle right here on August the 8th is a reversal candle. So we some of us caught it, some of us didn't catch it, but that is a reversal of a trend. Usually that's what that means. Okay. Whenever you see a candle like that, it means trend reversal. We see a similar candle down here. These long wicked candles are usually meaning a reversal. We see them here. So August 8th, there was no mention of a crypto scam of 3.1 billion, and there was certainly no reason for any other piece of news to I mean, no other piece of news coincides with August 8th, right? We had a natural line of resistance coming in here that we just could not get past at 12,000, and we did show this. The chart is showing us that, hey, this candle means a trend reversal. So it gave us the warning. Whether we listened to it or not, that's a completely different argument, but it gave us a signal here prior to any news, right? Now, we also had traditional markets crashing right around the same time. Whether that is correlated or not, I mean, let's debate. Let's actually debate. I want to bring in the DOJ. Actually, what is going on here? I'll just do this and then ask that. So, I mean, you can kind of see them down here, but it might be a little difficult. But there's I mean, there is some correlation here. Where is our hanging man candle right there? So you can see the price was pretty steady, pretty flat here when Bitcoin really started to make a run to the downside, right? back. Let's get rid of these. Let's go to our SPY chart up here. So where is August the 8th in this chart? It's got it right here. So this is again on the daily. So right here, S&P having a bullish day, right? The SPY having a great, I mean, just a great trading day, while Bitcoin is putting in a hanging man, which means reversal, right? So these are opposites. These are opposites. So argument can be made both ways, whether the news of the or news that of the trade wars and currency manipulation, worldwide currency manipulation, those things, came out a little bit after the 8th, a couple days after the 8th, and the S&P was still, trying to bounce back from this dip from previous talks about trade wars. Actually recuperating pretty darn good here. I mean, this is a definite bullish candle here, followed by a not so bullish candle here. But again, the news didn't break out till later, right? So there is correlation in the price. However, Bitcoin gave us a signal that it was a natural rejection of that area, and therefore was preparing to dip. So, the information again is in front of you, whether you want to believe it or not, or follow that, or believe your own agenda, or whatever you want to call it. But I'm not blinded to the fact that the charts tell you a story, and a lot of times it works. I mean, most often than not, to me, it's been working for me. So I'd rather stick to something that's factual, tangible, something that I can see, versus something that is set to have happened, right? Versus the news, versus media, versus whatever you want to call it, right? This is actual, factual, tangible information you have at your disposal. You just have to click a few places, type a few letters, and boom, you're there. I do also want to talk about this dip here a little bit more. I posted my last video on Wednesday night and drew this line of support here coming in here, and look at that. It actually hit right on the dot, right on the dot. I also told you guys Wednesday that this was Wednesday, I believe, August 14th. Yep. I told you guys on this very candle there that I'm pointing to that we had more room to the downside, and we actually did. We went further down last night. After this brand new candle had opened, we went way down and touched the yellow line of support down here, where the 89 and the 200 simple are coming in, and this line of support. So massive area of support, and just having a natural bounce. Now we're putting another hanging man candle. We just printed this candle today at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Standard Time. See these? This candle, followed by red candle. What do you think that is? It's not news brewing. Nothing's happening. Not that I'm aware. I mean, we just heard that BAKKT is coming out September 23rd. I mean, we couldn't get any more bullish. Brian Armstrong just said, man, I'm seeing up to $400 million per week. That's almost $1 billion a month. That's almost $1 billion a month. Okay? So think about that. A lot of support coming in here. And yet we are printing a hanging man and follow through. What looks like to follow through might be too soon. Also, weekends, although lately has been a little bit different, but weekends we don't see a whole lot of trading volume. Trading volume is up above the exponential here, so this leads me to believe that we could have some moves over the weekend. We could, not that that's a guarantee or anything like that. It's never a guarantee. We're continuing to make this descending volume signature here. So, and that is since we started this trend here, this bull flag right here. So obviously we're in this consolidation period. We had this move actually come through, and play out that led us to, again, retest of $12,000. But ever since, again, we've reversed to come back and retouch this bottom line of support here. It looks like, well, two things are coming in here, right? This looks like a giant wedge coming in here. This yellow line of support and red line of resistance. Or we could say that it's still within this descending bear flag, right? Which, I mean, just a signature bear flag here, which means that we could potentially come back and retest the 200 here at low $8,000 range, 8,100, 8,200, filling the gap on the way down. Forget I said that, and then bouncing to retest this line of resistance up here, right? That's what could happen. Certainly, there is what looks like a reversal in this minor trend. So we could see it. I mean, I don't doubt that we're going to see it retest this bottom area support. Whether we break through it or not is yet to be seen. We could again retest 9,700. In some exchanges, depending on where you trade, some exchanges went down all the way to 9,500. Hopefully you bought the dip. I did. I ran out of money buying the dip, so I didn't buy at 9,700. I bought a little bit above that, about 9,900 was my last buy-in. Just got too excited, overly excited, and I have since sold at the prior resistance here at what looks to be like the symbol 100 here, right where this orange brownish looking line blah, 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 whatever that is, brown, orange, whatever you want to call it, sold right below that, and I am now awaiting the next dip. That's what I'm doing. So we'll see how this plays out. If we do actually come back and make a quick retest of the area of resistance, then we're looking at around 11,500 now, which also brings up a very, very good point here. We need to get above. Actually, wrong one. The 11.5 area, and start closing a 4-hour, 6-hour, 8-hour above this area here. We're gonna change it to red, so it represents our resistance. We need to start closing some long-term candles, longer-term, medium-term candles above at or above this trend line here in red, or this resistance line, if we want to get ultra bullish and say that we're going to break out of this formation here, right? If we don't do that, then we're definitely going to come back and possibly retest not only 9,700, but could quite come back and retest 9,300 before ultimately coming down and retesting the 200 at $8,100.50, $8,150. All right, so that is the daily. Let's look at a broader picture here. We have not retested the 21 in a while. Also, since we got above it here back in 1st of April when we broke out, and we haven't looked back since. So look where that area is coming in at 8,800. If we do come back and retest the 21, that'd be perfectly fine and healthy. I've got everything in pretty much everything in cash right now, so definitely waiting for a bigger dip. And we're still within this formation here, so I wouldn't get bearish on it. Not until we leave that and actually get below the 200 coming in here at 7,600 do I start to get bearish on this. All right, so again, key areas. If for some darn reason, unforeseen circumstances, we come and retest 7,700, that's the point where we start to worry. Okay, not prior. Actually, we still have the 55 here. Both solid areas of support. That I'll backtrack a little bit and say that if we go dip below the 55 here at 7,400, then that starts to look really, really bad. All right, let's go to the lower time frames. So start with the 1 hour. For the shorter term of things, looking like it wants to hold on to that simple 100 there. but RSI is pointing down. It wants to retest the 21 here, but like I said, I mean, look at this doji here. That is indicative of a of reversal. Then this other candle here on the hourly, also lower time frames. There are a lot of things pointing at down pressure, right? So on the lower time frames, that's what the 1 hour is saying. That let's look at the 2 hour. 2 hours looking the same. Look at this major sell-off, long-legged candle here. A lot of selling pressure up here. Again, 2 hour just looking like it had a fresh cross to the downside, looking like it wants to get into the neutral zone and retest the 21 down here. So pointing downwards. Look at the 3 hour, more of the same. A lot of selling pressure up here. Look at these long-legged candles here. Looks like an inverted hammer, although it's on an uptrend. So who knows? But it's just telling you that anything above 10,400 is being rejected. That's a major area of resistance there. Yeah, we've wicked above it, but look at the simple 100 here, just keeping price in check. I mean, just on a descending pattern here along the 100 simple here, this orange, brownish looking line, right? Looking like it is finding support at the 30 simple here, but overall, look at this. Just had a fresh cross on the 3 hour. We're starting to get into the more medium time frames, although 4 hour, 3 hour is still, pretty much on the lower side. Look at the 4 hour. 4 hour looks like it just wants to have a fresh cross right here, right now. If we do close this candle anywhere or around, or not above I'll call it 10,400. If we manage to close, if we manage to close below 10,400, I do think we're going to have a fresh cross to the downside on the 4 hour, which implies more downforce. And again, we already looked at the daily. Daily looks like it wants to have a cross to the upside. However, we've been seeing the short time frames pointing upwards while the daily was on the reverse pointing downward. And so now things are on the opposite end, where the daily is looking upwards, but our shorter time frames are all pointing downwards. So it is sitting in the oversold position, but we do have this daily, which I do put plenty of weight on. I do put plenty of significance on. The hanging man here, candle just printed about an hour and 11 minutes ago. All right, so brand new reversal candle. Again, I'd be careful. For full transparency, like I said, I am mostly in cash right now. Okay. All right. Let's have a look at Ethereum. I think Ethereum is actually doing something, something pretty cool. We do have a hammer candle down here on a downward trend. This could signify a reversal, trend reversal. Now, there's that, right? There's that piece of information. Also, RSI on the daily looking like it wants to cross to the upside and come back and retest the neutral zone, which is great. However, we did get down below this really important line of support here at call it 194. Call it 194. We're now trading below it at 184. So, and we also have the 10 simple coming in here, right on the money there. So even though this looks like a trend reversal and looks like it wants to tick to the upside, it wants to come back and regain this posture over here, it is going to face plenty and very strong resistance here at this point. In fact, we're going to change this line of previous support to signify to red, so it signifies that it is resistance there. So you guys can do that and paint that same line of resistance there. So we broke down below it, and now to get above it, we're gonna have to fight quite a bit. But keep this in mind. This is signaling a trend reversal here, down here on the shorter term. Now, if Bitcoin does what it did a couple days ago, then all hell's gonna break loose, and everybody's going down with it, except for Link. Link is resilient. Link doesn't give doesn't gaff about what Bitcoin is doing right now, it's just going on its own little thing. Just consolidating here, consolidating, more consolidation. I did draw this as a breakout candle, and I did a short scalp trade on this a few days ago. But that's not what we want. That's not what we want to talk about here. It's still within this triangle here, and you know, just staying very steady, very strong. That there's little volatility here. I mean, not much, right? I mean, would you trade it? Yeah, I mean, yeah, why not? I've been a chicken and I haven't traded it too much because Bitcoin's just been on a downward trend. So I've been too chicken to actually trade this. I actually want to hold on to my money. But I mean, is it tradable? Absolutely, absolutely. I can't tell you what to do. You guys are grown individuals, and can make your own decisions whether you want to trade this or not. But on a daily, again, looking like it's just respecting this bottom area of support here, and respecting this bottom or top area of resistance. At some point, we're going to have a breakout or breakdown. And it certainly looks like it doesn't matter what Bitcoin does. This is going to keep on doing whatever it's doing. I do expect to have a breakdown or breakout of this, and it will certainly be, I think, supported by what Bitcoin does to a point, right? We've seen Bitcoin in the last few days go on a dip, and look at how much influence that had on Link. Not a whole lot, So I do expect a little bit more consolidation before we actually reach the point where we break out. Now, I've said this before, and it's actually turned out. We're at the point in this formation where we can actually expect a breakdown or breakout at any point going forward. Will it do that? I can't tell. I'm not a fortune teller, but I can definitely tell you that there is an expected move, definitely putting the pressure on, and we should either break down or break out. I know that doesn't help a whole lot, doesn't give you a dude, what is this? Should I buy or should I sell? Well, I can't tell you that, but if you do see it now, here I will say this: this is a long area of resistance. I mean, we've been at this since June 29th, so it's a huge area of resistance. Now, if it breaks out of this, right out of this line of resistance, then I do think we're in for a massive run. At the same point, this has been a pretty good area of support. We do have plenty of support coming down here at the 382. We got the 89. We got the simple 200. There's plenty of support in this cluster here, between, call it, $2.10 and $1.98. So there's a huge area of support. If it dips down, I do think it gets picked up here, and then you can make smaller trades as it goes sideways. But if it does break out of here, let's set some expectations. First area of interest here. It could actually, I mean, this will it break if it goes above this area? It's a breakout, right? Will it break out of this? If it does, then this seems like a likely possibility here. Seems like a very likely possibility here at 278. Well, I'm not too convinced it'll stop there. I do think we could come back and retest the 0.618. That seems more of an interesting area to me. But then ultimately, this area right here at 3.17 is going to serve as heavier resistance here. So I'll leave this here. These are my areas of interest on the way up if a breakout happens. Okay, so I would probably de-risk a little bit here, de-risk a little bit here, and definitely de-risk a little bit here. Maybe completely out. All right, not financial advice. That's just to give you guys a little bit of a roadmap. Okay, all right. Let's look at the 1 hour real quick. Zoom in a bit. Yeah, the hourly is not looking too bad actually. Getting above the 30 to 21. I mean, there's the whole. I mean, it's all clustered in there, so it's hard to tell. But it's definitely above the 21 to 30. Looking like it wants to retest the 200 there, and also having a bounce off the 21 on the RSI. So the 1 hour looks pretty tempting actually. Let's see, 2 hour, um, not as tempting. 2 hours kind of having divergence there. Don't like the 2 hour. 3 hour indecision, and not really knowing what it wants to do. Looks like more sideways trading. 4 hour, kind of what the 3 hour is saying. So I don't know. It seems pretty boring to me. I wouldn't put any money in it right now unless I see a breakout. The way to play this breakout, I'd say, once we get to about $2.50, start warming up, start getting your bags ready. At that point, if you see that happening. All right, let's do Litecoin real quick. Litecoin has been on this massive ascending wedge here, respecting this line. We did dip below it, to be fair, but it does look like it wants to come back and get back into this formation here on the 4 hour. Although RSI is looking like more weakness, there's not enough conviction. Look at the volume too. Volume is lackluster to me. Doesn't look very convincing. It is being tamed by this exponential here on the volume side. So maybe some more. Looks like more sideways trading. Let's go on the reverse now. The 3 hour. 3 hour is actually looking pretty bullish. Actually, looking very convincingly to the upside. Although it does look like it wants to turn around on the 3 hour. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, it doesn't look. It's not giving us any real signs of strength except for the 4 hour RSI there. 2 hour. There is divergence on these time frames. I don't like this. Usually, you want these lower time frames to be in sync. Whether one is up here, the other one's catching up to it, and the next one down is also catching up to it. That's kind of what you want to see. But there's definitely, yeah. See, I mean, there's all sorts of divergence on Litecoin right now. I wouldn't touch it. Yeah, I wouldn't touch it. If you're a long-term player, yeah, I mean, that's a different story. I would say you're safe to go in there. These are pretty low levels. But if you're a trader, I wouldn't touch it. All right. Just do a quick run on XRP. Yeah, XRP looking like it's flagging into a triangle here. Let's change that to the red, and then we'll go right here. I'm going to tighten it up a bit. There we go. All right, and this is actually area of support, so we'll paint this guy in green. All right. Okay, so there you go. That's what it's doing. It's getting filled in this formation here. So we could see a breakdown or breakout pretty soon here. At any given moment now that we're pretty filled here. Yeah, I mean, again, if Bitcoin has another massive dump, look the effect that it had on XRP. If you've been following the channel, I did tell you guys that XRP was just looking more and more like it wanted to actually do this move. Just retesting, getting down below it, coming back above it, retesting it, coming down below it, coming back above it, and then down here again, coming down below it. So it was just urging for a down move. Look at that, 20% to the downside. If you bought down here, Good for you. Very smart. 23 cents. I haven't seen 23 cents on XRP since, gosh, the beginning of time for XRP. So it's actually, gosh, is it the all-time low? No, I don't think so. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, no, it's not the all-time low. This would be our all-time low at 12 cents. Yeah, so way above it. But, there's very few people that got in at 12 cents. Well, this is according to Binance too, so don't, or actually Bitfinex. So what I traded, no, not really. And I'll keep it simple. We're still on a downtrend. Is this a lower low? This is slightly a lower low. Is this a lower low? This is definitely a lower low than anything we've seen. Would I trade it? No. I would wait till it is done doing whatever it is trying to do down here. If it's going to definitely have a bounce and come back. If it comes back up here, then it starts looking better. This has been, again, 29 cents, 30 cents has been a huge area of support. But it's going to have to do a lot of work to get over there. It would take a massive move on Bitcoin's part, for one, to do that. All right, so I think I'll leave it at that. Again, guys, very exciting video. Very happy to come to the conclusion of this week with so much bullish news going around. So many things to look forward to. And also, don't forget to leave your comments. Definitely let me know what you guys think. What I'll put this out there. What do you think is going to be now that this is out there, now that BAKKT is in the cards, what do you think is the price for Bitcoin by the end of 2019? I'll put it out there. I think, in my opinion, this brings a lot more optimism in my end. I think we're going to see 20,000 again before the end of 2019. I think we're going to see that. I don't think we're going to see 25, but I think somewhere between 20 and 25. Leave it down in the comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Where do you think Bitcoin's going to go by the end of 2019? And again, don't forget to like the button, or hit the like button, and hit the subscribe button again, and the notification bell so you get these notifications. All right, guys, we'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys probably on Monday. And if you want to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, The Real Shaw 256 is where I'm at. You guys can hit me up there. All right, guys. Looking forward to seeing you again. Talking to you guys again next week. We'll see you. Have a great weekend.